we need to talk to you in a few minutes, I'm doing something, nothing. His response is the same response everyone gets, is get out of the street before I arrest you. So he and I started having a disagreement about it. I started telling him how inappropriate it is for him to be reacting this way. So what is his response? So I get up on the sidewalk, I obey his request. So what does he do? He gets out of his car, follows me up on the sidewalk, continues antagonizing me about the situation, and then two other police officers walk up, and then what do? They arrest me. He gives the order, arrest him. They have no regard for anyone in this community, especially the socioeconomically disadvantaged. I was praying that when Kevin Martin took over here, that the culture inside the Lima Police Department might change, that there might be some differences made. We knew what Greg Garlock was doing was inappropriate. We knew that he was covering up for his officers on a continual basis. So I was hoping that Kevin Martin, knowing everything that's went on in the aftermath of Tarika Wilson, would step up to the forefront and demonstrate the leadership that we've seen Sam Krish demonstrate. When Sam Krish took office at the Sheriff's Department, what did he do immediately? He laid down the law. He sent a message to all of his officers, all of his subordinates, that it's a new sheriff in town, and that if you act inappropriate, you're going to be disciplined up into termination. But this police department refuses to do so. Why do they refuse to do so? Because all they want to do is protect one another. They don't want to adhere to the 39,000 constituents that live inside the city of Lima, Ohio. All they want to do is protect the 70-some individuals that work inside this place. That's a travesty. There's something really wrong with that. So the lady that was pulled out of the window of her car last week by this third shift police department, what do they do with her? They bring her in, sit her down in a 3 or 4 hour interview, parse every word that comes out of her mouth, and then ask her to sign a waiver in lieu of them dropping the charges, these trumped up charges that they put against her. They want her to sign a waiver that she won't sue the Lima Police Department in the city of Lima, and in response, they'll drop the charges. This is a reoccurring theme inside this community. You can ask black men, black women, white women, rich, poor, it doesn't matter. If you bump heads with these bullies, they will send you a message. I go to court yesterday, they charged me with misconduct at an emergency, and then added another charge on top of that. Do you think they called me, tried to have a discussion with me about what went wrong? How could we communicate? How could we talk about, create a dialogue about what happened on Elizabeth Street? Hell no, they didn't do that. And the reason they don't do that is because we are not holding them accountable. I'm asking the media to start taking an active role in participating in investigating the misconduct and the corruption that continues inside the Lima Police Department, especially the third shift Lima Police. These guys are operating with carte blanche. There is no one from the top down either capable or willing of doing anything to mitigate these ugly circumstances that keep reoccurring. Why is the question? Why? Because they've allowed it go on for generation after generation. And why do we keep hiring internally? In the entire world, in the entire free world, not Barack Obama, not Eric Holder, not Governor Kasich, not Sheriff Krish, no one but 2 men in the entire world were qualified to vie for the new chief position. There's something inherently wrong with that. So how the hell would you expect the culture to change when you have this incestual behavior that goes on? They keep churning and breeding the same individuals in leadership. There is no opportunity, no chance of creating new leadership. Sam Krish, his play is the only play. He's the individual that has demonstrated the leadership that we need, and you all need to start holding this man, Kevin Martin, and his other administrators, and these lieutenants, and these majors, and these sergeants, and these footpole patrolmen accountable, because what's going to happen, mark my word, what you're going to see happen is that one of them is going to end up getting hurt really bad. If you look at national data, you'll see that there's been a dramatic increase in the number of police officers that violence has been perpetrated against. There's been a dramatic increase in the number of police officers that have been killed in the line of duty. Why? Because people are fed up. Once again, there's an intolerance going on. So how do we keep that from happening? How do we keep one of them from getting Sharifa Wilson 2.5 years ago. We have to stop it. We have to start holding these men accountable, because if we don't, the blood is on all of our hands, and especially these people. Mayor Berger is the mayor of 39,000 plus individuals in this city. Not 70-some police officers, but a 39,000 person constituency that is saying enough is enough. You guys have to do something. I'm willing to participate. I'm willing to do whatever, but I'm one person. I'm a volunteer. That's what I do. These individuals get paid. They get paid every day to protect and serve. That's their job. So what makes it so difficult is because we give them blind support. Irrespective of what they do, we give them the continual benefit of the doubt. And why? Because we have not seen enough. You know, every day this stuff continues, and it's going to keep continuing until people step up. I don't like calling these press conferences. As NAACP president for 3.5 years, I've been involved in 3 press conferences that I've called. Because I don't like doing it. I like having discussion. I was intimately involved in the forming of the Citizens Review Board. But what have they done with the Citizens Review Board? Let me help you with that. Right now they're going through line by line the application of the volunteers who said they're willing to participate in it. They're running them through the ringer, making them feel like maybe this is more than I bargained for. They're taking them through hell and back just to get the process started before we've had the first complaint. So they hold all the cards, so they think. But I actually think the people hold the cards. So the people are going to start stepping up more. I'm going to be holding a series of forums in this community, not to talk about what to do when the police stop you, as if somehow that means we're wrong all the time, but what to do when you are being assaulted, when you are being abused, when your civil rights are being violated. That's what I want to talk about. I want to talk about this racial profiling that is still rampant within the LPD, that they've masked under the auspice of pinpoint policing. It's a euphemism for profiling, and they know it. And we continue to allow it to happen. And why? Because people live in fear. What happens when someone speaks out is that the prosecutor's office, the city administration, and the LPD then engage in personal vendettas. Ask Darla Jennings. Ask her family. Ask them about all the things that are going on with her and her family. This is what they've been doing for a long time. But I stand here on my own. The people that hear, that's on them. But I'm willing to be the change that I expect to see in the community. I'm willing to stand up and do what's necessary to draw attention to this. The vast majority of law enforcement officers do their job. But the cowardice of standing by and watching another person violate someone's civil rights and not step up and draw attention to it and hold people to accountability means that you are equally responsible. And we are expecting change, we want change, and we're demanding change today. Not tomorrow, not next week. I'm going before City Council Monday after next, and I'm going to ask them to consider creating a situation, a charter change, or whatever they need to do, that we are going to start looking at voting the chief of police in just like we do the sheriff. Every 4 years, we get to hold Sam Krish accountable for what he promised us during campaign season, during the election time. Every 4 years, the mayor of this community gets held accountable. Every 2, 4, and 6 years, this government that operates the entire United States of America has to be elected. Every position in the entire structured environment of our legislative body and government services is voted in, except for who? The chief of the Lima Police Department. They can run and do this for decades. Chief Davenport, Chief Catlett, Chief Garlock, and Chief Martin. We're talking about 50, 60 years of 3 individuals previously, and Kevin Martin's only 40-some years old. He could be the chief with the same incestuous behavior for another 20-some years. I understand that people are committing crimes in this community. I understand that there's crime, violence, and drugs. I'm an advocate for fair and equitable policing of the community. I am not condoning anything that goes on that's inherently wrong in or outside of this community. But people have rights. That's why we have a constitution. That's why we have all of these things in place. So the people that are going to get their due process, they're going to be fairly adjudicated. But what we have happening is you have coercion going on, like Kevin Martin did with this lady this week, telling her, you sign a waiver and we'll drop the charges. Why are we doing that? Why are we allowing that to happen? That's a good question. And I'm asking you all to pose that to the city administration, pose that to the police administration, and ask Sam Krish why he's so effective with his officers. Ask the people in the community why there's such a stark difference in the respect level of individuals within the Sheriff's Department and the Lima Police Department. Start asking questions, asking why there is, because there's strong leadership at the Sheriff's Department. Sam Krish he's not worrying about the poll of public opinion. Sam Krish is not worrying about what's politically expedient. He's doing what's right for the citizenry of Allen County. And that's what I want this mayor to do, and that's what I want this chief to do. And until they do that, they're going to get to see me a lot. I've tried to do this behind the scenes. I've tried to give them their opportunity. I tried working the process, but it doesn't seem to be working. I can give you the names of many, many individuals that seen these third shift police officers putting on gloves, beating the hell out of people, and then taking the gloves off and walking away laughing like it's sport. This isn't Nintendo. This isn't a Wii game. This is real life. And somebody in here is going to get hurt, or somebody out here is going to get hurt if we don't put a stop to it. Of course she did. Yeah, of course she did. Everybody signed.
What were the charges they supposed to arrest?
It was resisting arrest and a myriad. The same obstruction of justice, resisting arrest. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. It's the same charges.
What happened the two times you were arrested for?
He said, well, when I was at the scene, he said it was obstruction. And then another officer said it was disorderly conduct. And then when I get the papers, it's misconduct.